Okay, we know that the problem of the indoor quality is an issue that was actual before the pandemic, and is the reason why from two different sides, NanoHub as a photocatalytic technological company, and from the other side, Lamp, were already designing, investigating, and producing devices related to the indoor quality. Why? Because from our side, we detected this issue as a problem for the passengers, and so we were already last year trying to understand what could be the best choice, and we decided to go to the photocatalytic for several reasons that I will try to explain you. And from the other side, NanoHub was anyhow designing filters for using photocatalytic technology. So it's not just a point that is related to the pandemic that we are living. And this is one of our major, let me say, from one side advantage. We didn't become suddenly expertise on photocatalytic and sanitizing of the air. It's something that we are dealing with since a long time. And from the other side is an issue that will remain also after pandemic. So now we have the exclusivity around the world to have a test specifically against the SARS-CoV-2, as you may know. But from the other side, we are underlining the fact that our technology is effective against several contamination substances, and that will remain also after the pandemic. Why the quality of the air inside is poor than the outside is because of poor ventilation system, because of the temperature, humidity that are creating colons of bacteria and viruses, and because of the presence of chemical substances, what is called VOC, you know, like toluene, acetaldehyde, formaldehyde, and because of virus and bacteria that are in the environment. So for that, we have really to take care about indoor quality. I just mentioned that last year when we faced the issue to sanitize the air inside the vehicle, bus, train, tram, airplane, or whatever cruise boat, we tried to analyze all the different technology that were available and that today we learned due to the pandemic. And but we discard all of them because we had in mind two main parameters. The first one was the possibility to work in continuous 24 hours with the people inside the vehicle. And the second one was to find a solution that, considering the life cycle cost, not just the cost of the single product, but the entire life, including maintenance, refill of the products and everything, could keep the cost at a decent level. This is a typical approach of the train producer, where when we design something for train business as interiors, we have not just to consider the cost of the product, but the life of the train itself. And following those two parameters, most of the technology were not suitable. If you are thinking about ozone, peroxide of UVC light, they are not suitable with the presence of the people. We cannot use, meanwhile, we are inside a vehicle or an environment because they are toxic for us. In some case, they are, as UVC, they can create huge damage from the cancer point of view to our skin and to our eyes. So this parameter obliged us to discard. But also from the cost point of view, they were not suitable because they obliged us to refill the ozone and the peroxide. And if you are speaking about UV, from the cost point of view, you have a high level of energy cost because they are high consuming lamp. And if you're speaking about maintenance cost, I understand that the cost is not so high. You mentioned about 70 euro per lamp. But at the end, the life of a new UV lamp is about 3,000 hours. And if you're speaking about a new technology like the LED, UV LED, we are speaking anyhow about 12,000 hours. So anyhow, they oblige you to take care about maintenance and to substitute very often. Considering also that before pandemic, UV were already recommended by European Health Organization to be, to be considered as obsolete also from the sustainability point of view. So we were in a trend to avoid the use of the UV. From the other side, if we are speaking about specifically about UVC, because you know UV are divided in three categories: A, B, and C. A and B are the ones that normally are reaching also us through the atmosphere, but yes, they are UV lights. So from the frequency point of view, they are below 400 nanometers, but they are not effective in terms of sanitizing. Otherwise, it would be enough if we are outside under the sun to do not take virus and bacteria, and this is not completely true. If we are speaking about UVC, in that case, yes, it's proved that they are effective, but I repeat, beside the fact that they are dangerous for the health of the people, if we anyhow hide a UVC lamp, just using it to sanitize, for example, airflow, we have to consider that one of the chemical reaction of the UVC is the production of ozone. So there is anyhow a risk to contaminate the environment with the production of the ozone. And this is a point that we have really to consider carefully. Beside the fact that if we want to use just meanwhile people are not present, like is ozone and peroxide today, you have also to consider that we are, as a passenger, as a people inside the environment, the carrier of the virus. So when we will enter inside the environment, all the sanitizing effect of the UVC, peroxide, and ozone will immediately disappear. If anyhow we use UVC, meanwhile there are no people, we have, like also ozone, we have to be careful that, because they are also dangerous for materials. They create, if we are speaking about ozone, problem with electronic devices. They are creating problem with the leathers of seats or whatever is the leather inside the vehicle or the environment. And third, if you have chrome surfaces, you will create blue points using the ozone. And we have several cases in the transportation field where a fleet owner using ozone, they damaged the vehicle. And using UVC, I remember one of the first things that I did when I joined HELAMP in 2003 was to run in Finland, in Helsinki. It was a nice adventure from the cultural point of view, but I went there to substitute all the polycarbonate covers, so the diffuser of the lights of the train, and all the cables inside the train, because at the time we were using fluorescent lamp. Fluorescent lamp, they are producing UV light. And so the UV is responsible for the fast aging of the plastic. So it means that the plastic became fragile in a shorter time compared to the normal life that they would appreciate. So all these things are brought us to avoid this kind of technology. If we go to ionizer or plasma technology, it's true, they are a greener, let me say, technology compared to ozone, peroxide, and UV. But from the other side, in that case, also there are two big issues. From one side, again, they are producing ozone, meanwhile they are sanitizing the environment. And if we are speaking about just ionizer, as is written also in one of the documents that you found on internet, negative ions are just grabbing to the virus in that case, and the virus became heavier and fall down on the surface. So this technology doesn't kill the virus, it simply make it heavier, cleaning the air, but then you have on the surface. So it's not, let me say, 100% suitable with our target. That is not just to clean, but it's to kill the virus or in general the pathogens. If we are speaking about HEPA filters, that to be honest are probably the most known, since today are the ones that are in the airplane, and we found out that was allowed to fly because of the HEPA filter. But HEPA has several issues that has to be underlined. First of all, we are speaking in that case about mechanical filtration. Okay, so it means that we are not destroying, but we are simply blocking the pathogens on the surface. Besides that, normal HEPA filter that we find in the air conditioning system are able to filter up to 0.3 microns. And we know that the virus, especially the SARS-CoV-2, is able to reach or is reaching 0.05. So we have no assurance that we will be able to filter really all the virus on the surface. Third, anyhow, you have to substitute very often. The cost of an HEPA filter is not so low. Anyhow, if you don't change so often, the filter itself became a sort of an area where colonies of virus and bacteria can grow because of humidity and temperature. And on top of that, you need expert people or professional people to substitute, because since it's not killing the virus, when you are taking out the filter to change it for the maintenance, you have the risk to find the virus still on the surface. So you will have a risk to be contaminated, okay? On top, but another issue is the drop of pressure, okay? HEPA filter, since it's a mechanical filtration, is for sure creating a lot of turbulences and is blocking not just the pathogens, but also the air. So you will have, if it's not calculated in the proper way, a huge impact on your drop pressure in their ventilation system. And if you want to consider it, so increasing the power of the ventilation system, it means that you are going into the high consumption solution from the energy point of view. Please feel free to interrupt me if something is not clear, or if you have any kind of question mark from that point of view. Is it okay till now?
My side is perfect.
Okay.
Very clear.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think we have some questions, but we'll probably save those till the end.
Okay, thanks. Then, for all this reason, as I said, we didn't consider these technologies already 2 years ago. And we land on the photocatalytic technology because we found out that was fulfilling the two parameters that I mentioned. Able to work 24 hours with the people in the environment, with a total life cost lower than any other type of technology. But speaking about photocatalytic, here again is opening another world, in the sense that thanks to NanoHub, we found out that a possibility was to use the trioxide of tungsten, the photocatalytic coating that we use, instead of the, let me say, most traditional TiO2, so bioxide of titanium, that you found also in several competitors' products. Photocatalytic technology is well known, in the sense that it's not just an invention of today because of pandemic. It's running into the market since over 20, 30 years. There are rumors that was also used by NASA for the space shuttle, but in that case, it was mainly used for the IT land, okay, to decontaminate from the IT land environment. But anyhow, it means that it's a proved and well-known technology. But I repeat, till 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago, the only catalytic element that was used was the TiO2. Also, for the Italian people, in 2015, we had the building Palazzo Italia at the Expo here in Rome. And the building was done with the photocatalytic painting, in the sense that there were inside the painting of the building nano components of TiO2 that, thanks to the sunlight, were creating a natural building from the sanitizing point of view. The same, you know, in Milan, in the Unicredit area, several buildings, there is the green grape sky, is also treated with nanotechnological painting. So it's proven against several type of pathogens, and is one of the other reasons why we have chosen to use photocatalytic instead of the other technology, because we found out that it was effective against PM 2.5 and PM 10, so pollution, was effective against several VOC, so again contaminants of the air, including the NOx, so the one of the main reason of the pollution situation in the air, and was effective against bacteria like Escherichia coli, Legionella, and several others, and against the coronavirus family. So we have evidence that was effective against the H1N1, the SARS, the avian flu, the swine flu, so the coronavirus family. For sure, SARS-CoV-2 is another story, but this was already proven. But we decided to use the trioxide of tungsten because of three main points. The first one that you mentioned also in your paper is that it's proven, and I will show you that trioxide of tungsten is between 5 and 20 times, not 20 and 30, but 5 and 20 times more effective than dioxide of titanium, especially against the NOx, so the pathogens in the air. Second, what does it mean more effective? Is what is called degradation rate. Okay, is the speed that is you will see that the trioxide of tungsten has in the destroying the pathogens. When we are speaking about speed, you have also to consider that the trioxide of tungsten is reacting in 1 billion seconds from the moment that the energy is reaching the surface. So it's a real-time process, okay? The second reason why we have chosen the trioxide of tungsten is because the photocatalytic process that I will explain in the next slide, it's anyhow related to a light, an energy that is reaching a surface treated, and the surface, the trioxide of tungsten is producing something that I will describe. The bioxide of titanium works in the same way, in the sense it needs a light and energy, but the level of energy that you need to activate the dioxide of titanium, if it's not added with some specific substance, in a normal photocatalytic process of the dioxide of titanium, you need UV light because you need a higher level of energy. So we are going back to all the disadvantage, let me say, of using UV. High consumption, high maintenance. If we want to use also UV to sanitize the air, you mean that you have to use, it means that you have to use also UVC. So again, dangerous for the people and risk to produce ozone during the reaction, not under control. So it's anyhow for our point of view, and also from the sustainability point of view, was not the best choice. Our solution using the trioxide of tungsten is needs less energy, and the reason why we can use normal white LED lights at 6,000 Kelvin. Okay, so no consumption or low consumption, and we are speaking about 60,000 hours life of the LEDs. So compared to the 3,000 of the UV lamp or 2,000 of the UV LEDs, it means over 7 years, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it's really almost no ending story. Third point that you mentioned also in your paper is that dioxide of titanium has been classified already as a cancer element of class 1 and has been declared recently as a potential cancer element of class 2, not just by ISPRA, the Istituto Superiore per Ricerca Ambientale, so there is an Italian organization, but also by ECHA, that is a European organization. When I'm speaking about cancer element, I'm speaking about a risk of breathing the powder of the bioxide of titanium. So it's not related to the device that is using this bioxide of titanium, but is related to the production process that arrived to produce the device, because all the catalyzer are originally as a powder, then became a liquid. It means that for the producer of the oxide of titanium, they have already this risk. And the oxide of titanium is not just used on the photocatalytic, it's used in several food business segment. And in fact, in France, has been already forbidden from that point of view, okay? So this is what we want to underline, and is related to the cancer issue. We are not just saying all what I said, let me say, but there are several studies, like the one that you see in the bottom part of this slide, done by Hong Kong researchers, that they are effectively proving that photocatalytic technology is the best, is excellent compared to all the others in the different type of pathogens, molds, bacteria, gases, smell, smoke, and the last ones are VOC. Just concerning smoke, the ionizer are considered better than photocatalytic, and this is also known. But for all the other, as you can see, there is no, in some case, even comparison with HEPA filter, electrostatic filtration, ozone, UV, and ionizer. And I repeat, it's not my comments, it's a study done already in 2010. How it works, just briefly. We are saying that it's like the photosynthesis. This meeting has been a great, okay, sorry, I received a message. How it works is a natural process. Energy, that in our case is light, is reaching a surface coated with the trioxide of tungsten that in 1 billion seconds became excited and is creating electrons and negative area di valenza. Is creating, sorry, let me say, an area of about 2 millimeters where is accelerating oxidation process already present in the environment. So it's just an accelerator of oxidation process, and in fact it is producing what are called ROS, free radicals at the end. These are the ones that are attacking and destroying at the molecular level, or if we are speaking about viruses at the protein and RNA level, the pathogens that are present in the fluid. I'm underlining fluid because the technology is proven that is effective not just in the air, but also and mainly in the liquid as well. So we are also making some application in the treatment of the water to kill the Legionella bacteria, for example. But just to not going too far from what we have to be focused, the result of this reaction is the production of humidity, CO2, and mineral salt. When I'm speaking about CO2, we have to understand that we are speaking about part per billions, okay? If we have, I don't know, 1 part per million of a VOC in the air, and we are using photocatalytic technology, we will produce 10 parts per billions of CO2. Okay, so we are really speaking about not even measurable level, if not without a professional instrument. And we have to consider that an adult person is producing about 25 liters per hour of CO2. So don't, let me say, be confused that we are contaminating the air with the CO2. We are speaking about, repeat, parts per billions. For that reason, I'm saying that the photocatalytic technology is a green and clean technology that can work in the presence of people, because there are no toxic elements that are produced by the process. The energy that I was speaking about, as I mentioned to you, can be a sunlight, can be, in our case, also a normal LED lights. The level of lights for sure is important in the sense that we have to reach 2.4 watt per square centimeter of energy to be able to activate the lights. There is no link between an higher level of energy. So if I need 2.4 watt per square centimeter and I will use 10, I will just consume more. I mean, there is no relationship of the efficiency, increasing efficiency of the technology, okay? There are connections between other parameters, like if we go below 30% of humidity, the technology will start to be less effective. If we go over 100, is not a problem because it works also with water, as I mentioned. For sure, there are parameters connected to the temperature. So below 0, above 100 degrees Celsius will have problem to work effectively. And last but not least is the speed. Over, at least our test, over 7 meters per second, the efficiency of the technology will go down. But if we are speaking about 7 meters per second, we are speaking about a wind of over 150 kilometers per hour. So it's something really that is not in a normal environment condition, okay? Then let me go on. Okay, this I already mentioned to you. We did several tests also to check the different effectiveness of the trioxide of tungsten against the bioxide of titanium. That was also one of your questions. This is an example of the comparison between TiO2 and the trioxide of tungsten on a NOx. And in the graphics here, you see that, for example, the red dots are related to the bioxide of titanium. The blue dots are related to the trioxide of tungsten. And this is the level of NOx in the air. And as you can see, from the moment where I switch on the light, that is this point, immediately, in an instant, like a logarithmic of exponential trend, is dropping down. As you see, the bioxide of titanium is less effective. The degradation rate, what I was underlining before, is less effective. Okay, so this is one of the evidence. But also in the next slide, okay, here is just a commercial, the 6 reasons why we have chosen at the end the photocatalytic. It's proven effective, it's safe, it's clean process, it's economic, it's sustainable, and it's continuous in the presence of the people. And you see here what you already know, that we are the only one that has tested really the technology specific on the SARS-CoV-2 and not just generically on the coronavirus or in a bacteria with a similar behavior or something like that. We will go through. These are example again of comparison between bioxide of titanium and trioxide of tungsten. Again, we are just showing the best performance of our coating compared to the competitors one. I want just that you take a look to this picture on the bottom left, because it was the evidence against the H1N1, okay? So the SARS, the original SARS. As you can see, it was effective. It was proven that the photocatalytic technology is effective against the SARS-CoV, the virus. But as you can see from the time, it's taking about 8 hours to completely deactivate the virus. And when we arrived in March, we understood that this was not enough to give a proper reaction or answer, sorry, to the pandemic situation that we were living. And from that, let me say, understanding, we went on to develop with NanoHub what is now called the KTV filter. That is the filter that equipped all the devices, kill the virus, it's KTV, and that has been tested at the San Raffaele Hospital before summer, specifically again on the, as I said, on the SARS-CoV-2, and has been proven that within 10 minutes, 98.2% of the virus was deactivated, and was 100% deactivated within 30 minutes. I'm underlining within simply because this time step 10, 20, and 30, where the times chosen by San Raffaele to make the test. It means simply that they check the quality, the presence of the virus after 10 minutes. But for what we know from the technology, also from the graphic that I showed you before on NanoX, we are almost sure that also in the first, second minutes, we could reach the same type of evidence. But at the end, we have this proven. And how we reached these results to be faster than the previous technology is combining to the photocatalytic technology and other nano components. That is a fabric treated with the copper nanocluster. Why copper? Copper is a natural bacteria and virus killer. So at the end, gave us the chance to accelerate the efficiency against the SARS-CoV-2. Okay. Then was also one of your questions on the surface. As I mentioned, we have 3 production sites in Turkey. We are collaborating with the university in Istanbul, and as I mentioned, we started from sanitizing of the bus vehicle. And one of our customers, Isuzu, that is a Japanese customer with a production also in Turkey, asked to the Gebze University to perform a test not on the air, but on the surface, specifically on a fabric that was contaminated by virus and bacteria. And they tested the photocatalytic filter, our photocatalytic filter, and they found out that the bacteria was killed at the level of 99.9% and the virus at the level of 98%. How it works on the surface, because here we have also to be careful. You found out that there are several competitors, and you will find more, and you will find a lot of people that are just trying to sell lies, okay? We know, and we have proven, and we want to underline that the photocatalytic filtration doesn't create any kind of active element in the air, in the sense that the sanitized air is not a sanitizing element. It's just clean air. There are no inside peroxide of hydrogen, there are no inside ozone, there are no other elements that can go around and sanitize the air in the environment. If someone is declaring that, is declaring a fake. And is declaring the fake from 2 points of view, because the photocatalytic filter is a surface reaction. I told you that it's working on 2 millimeters from the surface treated, it's not going around. But even if we want to consider that due to the blow of the air, the ROS, the free radicals, will spread around, the level of ROS that will be spread, if they are at the level that will sanitize the environment, it means that we cannot be inside the environments. Remember that ozone and peroxide are obliging us to go away, and we have to wait 2 hours before to enter in the room, and we have to open the window to change the air. So if the level of ROS that will be generated with this will be spread in the environment, or the level of this ROS is so high that is not suitable with the presence of the people, if it's not so high, it means that will not work. Otherwise, why we are obliged to go away from the room? So every assumption that is saying that the photocatalytic technology is spreading around the air, ROS able to clean the surface, is a big lie. But what is the reason why photocatalytic is also affecting on the surface? Because of 2 reasons. The first one is because cleaning the air you will not have virus and bacteria on the surface because they cannot fall down on the surface. And anyhow, pathogens in general, including virus and bacteria, they are not cats that with the nails they are grabbing on the surface. They are just floating and falling on the surface. So if we are putting in movement the air, the bacteria and virus will be again recycled and filtered by the device. This is the reason why we are effective also on the surface. Then I just till now I have spoken about healthy issue, but related to the virus and the COVID-19. But since we started before the pandemic, we were looking at the quality of the air in general. And in this specific slide, you see a study that has been done here in Varese with the University of Varese by a professor that is Mr. Macchi, that is also the president of the rhinologists in Italy. What they analyzed was the health of the drivers. Why drivers? Because drivers are the people that are passing most of their day inside a vehicle in a traffic jam. So they are breathing pollution. And they are breathing poor quality of the poor air, sorry, because they're recycled in continuous by the ventilation system. When we are speaking about drivers, we are speaking about people, I said, that are passing more than 40–50% of their time inside a vehicle. So can be also a taxi driver, can be a policeman, can be commercial agents. So people that are almost living in the car. Breathing this low quality of the air, they are subject to inflammation of the cells of the nose that are at the end responsible for the rhinitis, for the allergic situation. And in fact, the test that has been performed was to use an American protocol that is called SNOT 20. That is simply a questionnaire where the drivers answered how did they feel about their health, the rhinitis situation and everything. And also the driver have been submitted to the nasal swab, okay, the tampone, what we do today for the COVID-19. Thanks to this nasal swab, they found out that really they were contaminated by several pathogens, including bacteria and spores inside the nose. And the CIS plus and SIS plus and SIS minus are two parameters that are linked to the health of the cells. Okay, so are simply generic parameter for that. For 3 months inside the driver cab has been installed our device Bora 50. And at the end of the 3 months, they again did the SNOT 20. So they checked as an answer from the drivers the feeling. And they did again the nasal swab. And they found out, as you can see from the table here, that all the pathogens disappeared or were dropped to a level that was almost zero, including the SIS plus and SIS minus reached the best level from both sides, confirming that the technology is effective, not just against virus in that case, but in that case we were speaking about allergic situation like the rhinitis, okay? And this is, I underline this page all the time because we don't want just to pass the message that we are a COVID-free technology. We want to pass a message that the quality of the air is a must. Today is the virus, tomorrow it will be something else, or anyhow it will be allergic or pollution or NOx, whatever it will be. Going to another field, not health in that case, but business, we know, and we just finished some tests proving that the technology is effective against ethylene. Ethylene is a natural element, is not dangerous for us, but is the natural element that is produced by fruit and vegetables and that is responsible for the aging of the fruit and vegetables. And this, you understand, that is a big issue for supermarket, for fruit and vegetable storage, because for them it's a nightmare when the fruit and vegetable become old. So the technology, it's simply killing the ethylene, and is able to let survive the fruit and vegetable, for example, a kiwi, for 2 more weeks at 18 degrees. So it means not just that the fruit lives longer, but also that you can use a higher temperature. So you will consume less from the energy point of view. Normally a frigo cell is working at 4 degrees Celsius. So you can increase, sorry, the level of temperature consuming less. How it works, you see a real installation that has been done in a chain that in Italy is called Famila, but also we have done in Natura C, and we are making now at the Gigante chain. From one side, this cube that is on the roof of the supermarket is sucking the air. It's sanitizing from the ethylene point of view. It's passing through the pipe where there is a fan, and is been injected again into the environment without the ethylene. You can understand how fast can be the ROI, the return on investment, using this technology in this kind of situation. In March, at least as Elan per Fuel, we were at the cross. Our traditional business was suffering a lot from volumes, production, buses and train point of view. But we decided to put our expertise on the table, designing for NanoHub and producing for NanoHub this range of 12 products that today are in fact 13, and there is a new one that is now in prototyping for elevators that is coming soon. All of them are based on the KTV filter. So all of them have the same effectiveness that I just tried to explain till now. And the main differences are related to where to use and the functions that each of them have. You find here also on the bottom right another logo beside the CE certification that from the electromagnetic and from the electric risk we have for all the devices. Also, this is CIMA verified. CIMA is a Società Italiana di Medicina Ambientale. Is the Italian Association for the Medical Environment. Is a no-profit organization recognized by overall the world organization, institution. And they checked with the San Raffaele the effectiveness of our technology, and they gave us this certification as a CIMA verified. And they have done recently several, I don't want to say advertising, but several TV program and press release where they underlined officially that we are the only tested technology around the world against the SARS-CoV-2. But going back to the products, ETRA is what we use for transportation, where CRA is our exclusive distributor in Italy. At the end is a filter, so there are no fan, there is no transformer, there is no case around. It's a simple filter that you put behind the air grid of an existing air grid in the vehicle, or where the air is intake inside is blown inside the vehicle, and is filtering the air that is naturally recirculated by the ventilation and air conditioning machine on the bus and the train. Bora 50, I already mentioned, is the machine that has been used in the driver cab. Normally the number is related to the power in terms of cubic meter per hour. Is the reason why ETRA has no number, because there is no fan. Inside the Bora 50, there is a fan that is able to generate 50 cubic meter per hour. So is suitable with a small environment. Bora 250 again is for transportation. The logo on top of the product is trying to underline for which field is has been designed the device itself. And the Bora 250 is able to reach 200 cubic meter per hour. Compared to the HETRA, as the difference that for the customer that doesn't want to integrate in their conditioning system, they can use this independent and standalone device. The device has anyhow a small display that will be on the dashboard of the driver that can control the speed and the maintenance of the device. Sorry. No, I can explain thanks to this slide, sorry. This is the HETRA, the one for the bus. So this is the air grid. You open, you fit our filter, and you close, and you will not see anything. In the scope of supply, you see that there is the filter coated with the trioxide of tungsten. There is an aluminum frame that is used to fix the filter to the body of the bus, and there are the LED strip. There is also what is written here as a dust filter, okay? When we're speaking about dust filter, you have to take in consideration the dust filter of your kitchen, okay? The one that is above the oven, because it's simply recommended to keep the surface of the photocatalytic filter clean from the dust. Okay, it's not part of the sanitizing process. It's not killing viruses. It's not filtering VOC. It's simply blocking the dust. Why? But in the bus, for example, is a normal component that is already inside the air grid. Why? Because I told you that is a coating, a surface coating, what we are putting on the filter, and the light, the energy has to reach the surface. So if the surface is completely covered by the dust, the process will not be activated. Okay, so it's simply for that. But when we're speaking about maintenance, in the bus, we recommend twice a year to clean the filter. The dust filter means that you can wash, you can suck, or you can change, but we are speaking about a few cents of products. That is normally part of the maintenance process that bus and train are fulfilling. Another points concerning the trioxide of tungsten, but in general photocatalytic technology. The coated surface is a self-cleaning surface. It means that if I will treat a glass, a window, with this photocatalytic, beside the trioxide of tungsten is transparent, so you will not see the treatment, is changing the superficial tension of the water. So it means that the water will not be able to stay on the surface, will slide, and the surface will remain clean. So if you see normally a glass, you see these dirty points or this calcare, come si chiama calcare, Marco, in inglese? Calcium?
Scusami, non ho sentito.
Calcare come si dice in inglese?
Bella domanda.
Chi mi aiuta, vabbè, spero che...
Like chalk.
Calcare is when the water dry, normally remain this white dust, okay?
Yeah, it's lime.
Okay, thank you. So using photocatalytic coating, you will not see anymore this kind of issue. So when I'm speaking about that you have to clean the filter, anyhow, take also in consideration that is at the end also a self-cleaning surface. Then I was describing okay, this is another product, the Eolo. Eolo 17 and Eolo 60 are at the end part of the same family. Compared to the Bora 50 that I mentioned, okay, the dimension of these components is 7 centimeter per 14 centimeter with a height of 50. And the difference is that this one is equipped with a battery pack that allowed you to use the device also when it's not connected to the power. So while you are inside a taxi, a car, a van, an ambulance, a driver cab, it will be connected to the electricity, 24 or 12 volts. But then when you stop your car, you can bring with you in your hotel room, you can bring on your desk, you can bring with you like a gadget. And also has the control of the speed of the fan, something that the Bora 250 has not, and is done out of metal. The case is in metal, and so it's suitable mainly for fleets. Okay, so you have a fleet of buses. You want to keep the device inside the buses, but not care that it will be damaged. So this kind of device is more suitable, and that is that one. Sorry. Okay, so you see at the end has the same power, 50 cubic meter, but is stronger from the elements point of view, and is also bigger, is 16 centimeter. Okay. Bora 250, I was mentioning that is for the bus where we don't want to integrate it in the air conditioning system. Our suggestion, speaking about transportation, is anyhow when it's possible to use ETRA, so the one integrated, but simply because, okay, it's not your field, but you have to know that an air ventilation system into the bus is working at 6,000 cubic meter per hour, okay? So you see that the portable device, but all the portable device will not reach above 250. We have also a version with 500 cubic meter per hour. So it means like to put a black hole beside that is the air conditioning system of the bus, 6,000 cubic meter, beside a sink. You know, I mean, there is not working properly inside the vehicle. But in case there is no air conditioning system, like in many countries around the world, or in a certain period of the year you are not using air conditioning system, or you don't want to integrate it, this product will work. S/per 100 is more for residential application because, let me say, of the design. As just the control of the speed, you can switch on and switch off and change the speed of the fan, but has no any other, let me say, feature. Something different from the Zephyr 100 that is not yet in production, but we hope to be able to release it before end of the year, beginning of 2021. Also, that one is for residential, but compared to the S/per 100, has several features. First of all, is working in the domotic, so home automation. You can control through your app. You can integrate in your home automation network. Second, can be equipped with sensors from the quality of the air point of view. So it means that is measuring the quality of the air, at least from VOC, PM2.5, PM10, CO2, humidity and temperature, and formaldehyde, and will self-control the device from the speed of the fan. So it will, let me say, check the quality and adjust itself. Last but not least, these gray, silver layers, each of them are photocatalytic filter, KTV, okay? Why that? Because photocatalytic technology is effective under two main conditions. Or how big is the device from the power point of view, so cubic meter per hour. It means how many times I'm recycling the air inside the environment. Or is related to the surface of the filter. It means that sorry, I changed the slide, sorry. Okay, it means that each of them, since it's a photocatalytic filter, if, for example, let me give you a number, photocatalytic technology is effective 80% in one passage to one filter. It means that on the second passage through the second filter, I will kill 80% of the remaining 20. So after two passages, I reached 96%. If I will put a third filter, I will reach 99.5% and so on. So it's simply increasing the effectiveness of the technology. But from the other side, each layer is a slave layer. It means that they are connected through magnets. So I can take out one, combining with another fan module, and I can spread the several modules around the environment. Why that? Because if I have a big room, let me say, 100 cubic meter. That is not so big, but is anyhow already something. The best is not to use a big machine, because anyhow, how the machine works as to recycling the air, filter the air inside the environment, and it will take time. If I put the machine in one corner and I have to wait that it will clean the air on the opposite corner, how long it will take? No, it depends from the power, from the dimension, from several other parameters. So the best is to spread smaller devices around the environment. This is the reason why the Zefiro has been designed with the idea to have a filtration tower, or to divide the tower and to spread around the environment. Always controlled by the master machine with the sensor, so that will control the quality of the air inside the environment. Related to this concept, we want also to underline that we are one of the few companies able also to give as a service the CFD analysis. It means the analysis of the airflow in an environment through computer data analysis. It means that we receive an input, the room or the environment, we receive the input of how many people are normally inside the environment, and we are able to give as an output which kind of device and where to put the device in order to optimize the air recycling process. Then we have the Levante 250. That is the one that is used today in the school, in several offices. Is the best seller at the moment, let me say. Is working at 250 cubic meter per hour. And is sucking the air from the bottom, passing through the filter, releasing on the upper part as a control of the speed. Also as all the device has a light that is giving you an alarm when you have to clean the dust filter. Okay, so it's telling you that you have to check the filter and to control if it's dirty. And can work also not in domotic by himself, but is suitable with smart connector. I mean, come si chiamano le prese smart? Oh, porca miseria. Smart port, smart
plug.
Smart plugs, right. It means that you can control by your devices because it will work in which sense? Normally the device, when you put the plug into the electricity, is switched off. You have to push the button and it will start to work. It means that when you will take out the plug, the device for sure will switch off, but when you will put in again, it will not work. So we have the possibility to program with the instruction in the manual, the software, in the way that when you take out the plug and you plug in again, the device will restart from the speed that you programmed. So it gives you the possibility to use domotic home automation app to control the device, and to, for example, we gave that to the school. They switch on the device half an hour before students are coming in. What else? So we have, okay, Scirocco. Scirocco is designed for roof application. So it means normally the panels in the fake roof in the offices, 60 per 60 centimeter dimension. You take out one of the existing panel and you fit one of ours with the remote control. It's sucking the air from one side, sanitizing on the back, and releasing sanitized air in the environment. So it's not a standalone device like the Levante, but is also is not around. I mean, is integrated in your roof. In the further generation, it will be also possible to use a sensor that we are producing that will control, self-control the Scirocco 150 automatically. Scirocco 250 are the one used for the IT LAN application, for the supermarkets, fruit and vegetables. And at the end is, as you have seen from the picture that I showed you before, is two filter on the top with the two big boxes and a pipe with the fan. In fact, the Scirocco 250 is able to reach up to 500 cubic meter per hour because the engine is able to reach this power, but it depends then on the noise level that you want to reach and that you need inside the environment. Ponente 1000. Ponente 1000 is again like ETRA, the original one for the transportation. Also in that case is a simple steel filter that is normally used for the HVAC system, what is called in Italy UTA. And how to use it? You have to install this filter into the HVAC machine. So it's filtering the air that is then blown to the centralized to inject inside the environment. Normally, you need between 6 and 12 of this filter, depend on the dimension of the machine, and where you have to locate where normally are already the battery filter of the HVAC machine. As I told you that we are releasing also a device for elevators. So in the next couple of weeks, we will have the prototype and we will update the presentation. But now the last one is this air mask, the mask that is called Aria, sorry, air in Italian. And it's based, again, on a photocatalytic technology. It's not a mechanical mask like the one that we are normally using. So it means that you have no mechanical filtration, it's a chemical filtration. So the feeling when you're breathing is much smoother than what we have today with also just surgical mask. Is equipped with batteries able to reach up to 8 hours life, rechargeable with micro USB. So it means that you can also use a battery pack. There is also inside in the standard version, the basic version, a small fan activated on demand that is able to evacuate the CO2 that we are producing with our breath. So is helping to avoid what is called hypercapnia. That is the disease typical of the divers when they are going to diving session. But it was also in some cases at the beginning of the pandemic related to people that were using for a long time surgical or FFP2, FFP3 mask because they were breathing their CO2. And when you're reaching a level higher than the normal atmosphere level of CO2, you are going to the risk to get the hypercapnia. In the next release of the mask, we also patent the possibility to add features like Bluetooth modules, loudspeaker, microphone in order to be connected with your smartphone and also to translate automatically, in that case, your voice in another language. There will be sensors like fever sensor, alcohol test sensors, or oxygen level in your breath sensor, and that will turn the green ambient light in red when you will overpass the limit. There will be GPS, there will be a UV case sanitizing device, and so on. The mask is in plastic, so is reusable and recyclable, so is also, let me say, eco-friendly from that point of view. So I finished with the long presentation and story, so sorry if it took a long time, but I hope that was useful for you to understand better the technology. Just to let you know, for each device that I briefly present, there is a specific presentation where there is a brief resume again of the technology, plus some more details and installation rendering of the different components and so other specific information. For the Levante, for example, you will see in the presentation also the brackets to fix the device to the wall, or the pedestal to keep from the ground at a certain height. Because one of the suggestions is to not put on the ground the device, because it will suck just the dust from the ground, and they will not be able to let flow the air in the proper way. Better is to put the device more or less at 1.2 meter. Why? Because it's the height where normally our mouth is, and since it's the mouth that is releasing the virus, bacteria, pathogens, is the best place to filter in the proper way the air. But I mean, all this information are then inside the specific presentation. Like we have for all the tests that I briefly describe, the full research, the full scientific research. That's it from my side. Up to you now.
Okay, for sure. I've already sent all the, let's say, all the dedicated leaflets. So they should have all the information they need. In any case, I will update you with the next products or with the next certifications. So now I think it's better to leave some time for the question if you have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, thank you, Massimo, for taking the time to present to us. I know doing it in English must have been even more difficult than usual for you. So
yes, sorry. My English, I know that is not perfect, but I hope that at least was understandable.
Oh, no, it was very good. Very understandable. So just to give you an idea of, you probably see a lot of names on the call here. Just to run a few of the names, I think Alessandro, you already know fairly well from our previous discussions. We have Trevor that is with Tempest in the UK, so he will be heading some of the UK activities. We have Luca. Don't be fooled by the name. Luca is very German, so he comes from our German office. And we have Matt, who is supporting the European business in general. So that's just to give you an idea of the team here. And
again, nice to meet you, everybody.
Okay. So I think you've answered a lot of the questions, and you know, I'm pretty happy about that. I think what I'd like to do there still perhaps, I mean, our function here, we're not trying to challenge you. What we're trying to do is understand when someone challenges us in a sales environment, you know, what is the answer we should be giving. So I think from the call today and from what we've been studying over the last week or so is, I think the use of UV lamps is fairly clear why that technology is not good. My feeling, maybe I've researched a little bit more than some of my colleagues. I think I'm starting to understand why there is, you know, why our solution, the solutions you have, are superior to the titanium dioxide catalyst converter solutions. I think the area that still I would like your help to understand a little bit better is when we come across, and I don't remember the manufacturer, but there were one or two in the list I sent. When we come across products that have UVC LEDs and HEPA filters, maybe no photolytic converter at all, what are the key comparison points we should be looking at there?
Okay, first of all, I show you something that was released during the pandemic. Okay, well, this has been released from the World Health Organization. Okay, and as you can clearly see, the question was, can an ultraviolet distillation lamp be the answer for the coronavirus? And the answer was UV lamps should not be used to sterilize hands or other area of skin, as UV radiation can cause skin irritation. Okay, so let me say, as I said before, became now again popular the use of UV because it's true that is effective against the virus, but there are so many counterindication, disadvantages that should not, let me say, give to competitor the chance to say that they are better than us. It works. I'm not saying that doesn't work, But I repeat, the risk for the skin using UVC, because as I said, if we use UVA and UVB, we are not effective against sanitizing. Because I repeat, otherwise it would be enough to go out under the sun. Different if we are speaking to the user of UVA and UVB in the photocatalytic technology, okay? But remaining a bit on the UVC. Is dangerous for the skin, is anyhow high consuming energy technology, is a high cost technology because of the maintenance, is not a green technology because of the recycling of the UV lamps and LEDs. And if you do not control, there are several researchers, and I can give you, if you do not control correct the frequency of the UV, because UV, as you have seen in the presentation, is not just one frequency. It works in a range that is going from up to 400 nanometers as a frequency, but is starting from 180, if you remember well. At a certain frequency, the UV interacting with the humidity and the oxygen in the atmosphere, creating also in that case ROS, free radicals, are also generating ozone. Okay, that in that case, yes, is spread into the air. And you have the risk to create a dangerous environment. We had recently, I think that the Italian, at least colleagues know, but also the one that are living in Italy, Striscia la Notizia is a famous program that is taking place every evening at around 8:30 till 9:30. And they are, besides satiric, they are really also trying to discover fake news or anyhow, let me say, lies situation or something similar. And just 2 days ago, they were exactly speaking about ozone production. And they were underlining the risk of contaminating the environment with ozone, because if it's not under a strict control, it can really be dangerous or not useful at all for the people. So I repeat, I'm not saying that it's not working. I'm just saying that if I put advantage and disadvantage beside each other for the two technologies, UV are dangerous, high consumption, maintenance cost, and not effective in all the pathogens. If you are speaking about 2.5 and PM 2.5 and PM 10, UV are not working, for sure. But photocatalytic filtration, yes. Okay, or the same if you are speaking about NOx. UV doesn't work. Photocatalytic, yes. So for sure, if I have just to sterilize the instrument of the surgical chamber, it's okay. I have to kill just bacteria in that case, it works. But if I have to take care about the quality of the air, if I have to enter into the concept of sustainability, green technology, for sure, forget about UVC.
Okay, okay.
And beside all the, the issue that I mentioned about the damage on the plastic, for sure you can treat the plastic. If I know that if I know that I have, for example, to put plastic on the sun, I have to add during my production process some chemical element that will block the UV, avoiding that the UV will damage the plastic from the aging point of view. But if I enter in a normal environment where normally there are no UV and I start to put UV lights, like I mentioned about the train, you will damage. So in the short period, probably you will kill the virus, but in the long period, you will destroy it also your environment, for the material that you have inside your environment.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think the specific kind of products that that we see and perhaps we need to really understand is where they have a UV LEDs embedded in the product, and maybe in combination with HEPA filters and something like that, where you have a similar maybe wall mounting device I think maybe the flow rates are not as high as the devices you do. But that's maybe one of the few competitors. I don't feel right now I can clearly explain why is that product worse or comparable to yours.
Yeah,
Because
you know that.
photocatalytic.
You know, there, sorry to say in this way, there is not for sure referred to you, but I am using the word from the right meaning. There is a lot of ignorance in the field. It's not easy to understand all what I try to explain, at least for you, yes, but for the normal people, it's not possible. If someone is telling you that the device is working, and is showing you also that it's killing viruses, because of, UVC is killing the viruses, not for everybody is understandable or is known that UVC is anyhow dangerous for skin, is dangerous for the eye, is generating ozone, is damaging the plastic. You know what I mean? So people are for sure believing and trusting. And if you are a good seller promoting something and not telling the complete stories, for sure they are selling. They are selling.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many companies that became rich in this period using ozone, okay? And ozone is proven, or at least, no, sorry. Okay, it's proven that it's dangerous for people, so you cannot use. It's proven that it's dangerous for the material, and is not proven that it's effective against the virus. Okay, the Istituto Superiore della Sanità, ISS, our National Institute for the Health, clearly declared, I can send you the paper, where they said that there are no evidence that ozone is effective against SARS-CoV-2. But there are so many companies that are still producing, selling, making a huge amount of profit, simply because they are lying, or they are not telling, better to say, the complete story or truth.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
is the problem. And for sure we cannot be Don Quixote, you know, I mean, going around just promoting what is, so it will be up to us to explain every time which are the difference.
Right. Part of the sales job, right?
Yeah.
Educating the customer, very much as you say, and that's why, you know, we're looking for you to educate us so that we can then educate the customer when they come with these kind of questions. As I said before, this is not to challenge your products. This is to understand how we educate the people that we're going to meet, and you know, these are already in our initial kind of or potential customers. These are really questions that are coming forth. But yeah, I mean, we have people that have you know, big fans with big lights in a box, and you know, they're cheap, and they show market reports that, or laboratory reports that UVC kills the virus. So you know, people don't understand anymore. Now we're learning they're high cost to run. The lamps contain mercury. You know, it's not an environmentally friendly or sustainable solution. So now we have, you know, weapons to start to talk against those kind of products. So this has been I think, a very useful call, but for sure we will have more questions for the future.
Yeah.
So what I would say is maybe if anyone else in the Tempest team has some specific questions they want to raise.
Meanwhile, you can see, I know that is in Italian, sorry, this is the official paper of the National Institution of Health in Italy, was the regulation that was released during this pandemic, and was referred to the ozone, okay? So this was just the summary. And clearly they said that for what concerns specifically the effectiveness against the SARS-CoV-2, sanitizing effect is in a principle feasible, considering all the mechanisms that are used by the ozone. But from the other side, there are not available at the moment direct demonstration that is effective in against the virus. Okay, so this is saying that this lack of information, proven test is not just limited to the ozone, but is in common with several biocides that are normally used. Okay, so when I was saying that we are the only one that has been tested against the SARS-CoV-2, should at the end be the answer, let me say, for all the question or for all the remarks, you know, the one that are using ozone, peroxide, HEPA filter, ionizer, plasma, electrostatic filtration, none of them, at least for our knowledge, has been really tested on the SARS-CoV-2. There is, for example, I don't know if you have seen, I can send you the link, has been patented recently, has been tested in a Rome military research center, a UV lamp working at 222 nanometers. That is a frequency that is not dangerous for people, at least is what is declared, but is anyhow low frequency, theoretically able to kill the virus. And they performed the test, saying that was effective and not dangerous. PT, that when you read the test, you will see that the test has been performed as a 20 centimeter from the light source, and it was 20 watt per every 100 centimeter square. Okay, so an area of 10 per 10 centimeter at the distance of 20 centimeter from the source. So what does it mean? That if I have to put on the roof of my environment to reach the 3 meters or 2.5 meters of my floor, or even 1.5 meter from my head, I have to use a so high quantity of lamp to be able to reach effectiveness of the against the COVID at my environment, that it will be a nuclear central needed to power this kind of room. You know, we will need about 3 kilowatt for a 40 square meter room to power this source of light. So you know what I mean. So we have really to be careful. What we are trying to follow in all this adventure is to be anyhow very honest and clear. Till a few weeks ago, all the devices that we started to classify as a medical equipment class 1, because in Italy you can do by yourself. It's a self-certification, the CE certification as a medical equipment class 1. So simply I fulfill some paper, I provide a technical documentation, I submit to the government, and after a few weeks I will receive a number that authorizes me to be classified as a medical equipment class 1. PT, that none of the technology for the hair can be classified as a medical equipment. Why? Because at least in Italy, then maybe we are checking, we are now certifying our product in US with the EPA and FDA. We are checking the certification in Sweden, in Bulgaria, and in Switzerland as well. Probably in other countries is different, but we are living in Italy, unfortunately or fortunately from center point of view. And in Italy, the protocol tests are not aligned to this new technology, are still referred to technology used probably 20 years ago. So we cannot be self-declaring that our product is a medical equipment class 1. All the one, and it's full on internet of competitors that are declaring that are under fake declaration. And we are in Italy, you know, so if one day the Ministry of Health will go in detail, checking and making the analysis of who asked and obtained this kind of certification, we'll take it out. And we didn't want to declare something that can be then, how to say, can be then cancelled by the government with a risk to lose our face and the image. We prefer to say the truth. Then we are working on the other side with the government at the ministry level to understand how our technology, or in general the sanitizing of the air, can be recognized. Okay, so sorry, but just to underline.
Oh, okay, very good. Just one question, a little bit more, let's say, generic. I mean, except for the mask and the new unit for the elevators, I believe all the other products are already in production. Is that correct?
Yep. Just two of them are not available on sale. Is the Zephyr 100 and the mask. All the other are already in production.
Okay. And roughly, what kind of lead time do you have from an order to a delivery?
Okay. Let me say, if we are speaking about small quantity, we have in our ongoing production, and so in 2-3 weeks we are able to deliver. If we are speaking about big quantity, so let me say above 500 units, in that case we have to put in queue in our production line, in our production pipe, and we have to wait about 5 weeks. Considering that actually our production capacity is in a mix, so depend from the product, but is about 10,000 pieces per month.
Okay. All right.
Just one quick question from my side here. The production, is it based in Europe, or are you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, let me say different. Some components is sourced in China.
Sure.
The fan and the transformer are sourced in China. The electronics production is done in our plant in Turkey. We have a three production site in Turkey. One of them is dedicated to electronics and lighting. Then all the rest is done here in Italy. But since we have also production capacity also in Spain and in Turkey, in case of increase, we can anyhow spread to the different locations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is there also any backup plan if there's any shortage on components from China? Also any plan there just to cover the demand?
We have tested in this period of time different type of funds from different type of suppliers in order to avoid this kind of problem.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Matt, do you have any questions?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw that you were saying there are some fake pretenses out there for other products, and that you did some initial testing. Did you monitor the free radicals out of the box during the test?
Yeah. Yes.
Demonstrate there was nothing.
Yeah, we have different tests that has been performed to check the free radicals out of the box. We can give you this evidence, and but yes, we did.
Good. Okay, thank you. Do you have a support system for failing units?
We are implementing a distribution channel all around the world. So through them, we are also providing services. For sure, as a technical assistance or for repairing, it will be done in the locations that I mentioned that we have around the world, at least from Elam side, Italy, Mexico, China, Turkey, and Spain. But I repeat, at the moment is the distributor itself that is also providing technical assistance. At the moment, we have a distribution channel in Italy, in Belgium, in Netherlands, in Poland, in Mexico, in Germany, in Egypt, in Bulgaria, Macedonia, Serbia. And we are discussing Spain, Brazil, Russia, Thailand, and Turkey. these are in discussion. I mean, we already exchanged the contract. We expect to finalize within the next weeks.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Does
welcome.
that include Germany? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Germany, yes. As a distributor, yes.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Do you have a list of colors or some sort of pack to help support the sales options?
Yes, in the sense, if I show you, for example, 1 second, I open it again, the presentation, as there is, for example, for each product, I will open now, for example, the Levante presentation. 1 second, I'm coming. Okay. Open it. Just sharing. You should see again my screen.
Okay.
This is the product presentation of the Levante 250. So there is again the quality of the air, the sanitizing problem and technology, the comparison with the different technology, the test, and then there will be some specific information about the device, how it look like. All our products are as a family feeling, have a family feeling. These triangle shapes you will find in all our products to try to be recognized.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
How it works, how intake, outtake, the control panel, the dust filter narrow, the dimension, an explosion to let you understand what is inside, how it works, the dust filter, and to replace components inside. I mean, all this information arriving to the accessories, as I mentioned, that are the brackets to keep it on the wall.
Okay.
Like it was in the school. There is the pedestal, and there are also, you see, the option in colors. Okay, at the
Brilliant.
moment, the Levante, for example, is supplied in 3 colors: total black, gray, and white from the side point of view, and black and orange. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
These are then environment.
Okay. Just one other question. Is there some sort of clean down routine for these units in the case they are being prepared for a COVID environment?
In which sense? Sorry, if
imagine they're installed in an area which is regularly going to be exposed to COVID and they're switched off. Is there a clean down procedure?
No, in the manual, for sure, there are the products recommended to clean to do not damage the device, especially from the plastic and the painting point of view. There are no specific indication for the COVID, because in that case, it's simply like the other recommendation that we have for every surface that we have. There is no any specific, at least.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't have anything else.
You're welcome.
Okay, good. I think from our side, at least on the Tempest side, that has been extremely useful. And I think
Yeah,
questions. Gianluca, you have another one.
yes, please. Sorry about that interrupt. Actually, I'm interested in your Levante 250 product, which you placed in the schools in Italy so far.
Yes.
My understanding, right? So,
right.
In terms of safety for the children, was there any restriction placed by government what you should be able to fulfill?
No, because from the, let me say, electricity point of view, anyhow, we are speaking about low tension devices. So there are no specific risk. As you have seen also, probably I can show you again in the picture. From the narrow point of view, and it's something typical that we are already fulfilling in our automotive industry. The narrow is that one on the side, but as you can see from the picture, I hope that this is, you can appreciate on the picture, there is an hole in order to avoid for your fingers, to avoid that your fingers can be damaged while you are opening or closing. There is a specific area where even if you put inside the hands, it will not be cut or anyhow harmed. And when you open the Nano, also automatically the device switch off to avoid, even if it's low tension, that someone will put their hand inside and it will be damaged.
Yeah, that's a great picture actually, because this would be also one of my questions, where you actually install the devices. Just because according to my understanding, the best and efficient way is to install it somewhere in the middle of the room. Now I see this wall mounting option. Was it approved by the Italian government school like this?
Yes, this is the public, and it's not even a private. This is a public school in Italy. Okay, so was approved. But I show you also when I was saying that we are able to make airflow analysis. I can show you a very short video about the activity that has been done specifically on the school to understand where to put where to put the device. 1 second, I will change the picture going to the video. Okay, you see my screen? Yes. This is a school, so with 20 students inside. The red is simulating the saturation of the environment due to the pollution or pollutants, so contaminated area due to our breath. And in the video, the Levante is located like in the picture that you have seen, and you can see how it works from the airflow to filter the air inside the environment. Okay. We did also test putting the device on the ground or on the corner, and the effectiveness was completely different because of the not best performing airflow in the environment. So we are able also to make this kind of simulation. For example, we are supplying to Mercedes the system for the bus toilet. Okay. And we did also in that we are a proven supplier of Mercedes for the toilets with the sanitizing. We are also speaking for the bus, but for the toilet has been already proven. And we did also in that case the airflow simulation to understand how the system will work inside the toilet, because we have also not to forget that is effective against the bad smells. So not just about COVID or VOC, but also bad smells. So it's useful also in this kind of situation. We did also the similar simulation in an office with 4 people inside. Let me show you also that again. Is that one again? Red saturation, and you see that the device at 1 meter from the ground is cleaning, and with the airflow inside the office with the 4 people. Also, speaking about quality of the air, you will find a lot of devices that apparently are can be cheaper, or that they are declaring that they are useful for environment, I don't know, for 40 square meters. Then you will go into the details and you will see that they have a fan for about 20 or 30 cubic meter per hour. It means that it will take probably 2-3 hours, but it will never work to sanitize the air, okay? So also that is important, is the reason why we are making airflow simulation, because we are not comparable. I strongly believe that a good answer to the air quality today is connected to 2 systems: mechanical ventilation and sanitizing of the air. Mechanical ventilation, why? Because as faster you're able to recycle the air inside an environment that's been recently proved, you will dilute the pathogens inside the environment. We did an installation here in Varese on a diagnostic center, and in the area where they're using the TAC machines, they have 48 cycle per hour. Okay, every 1.2 minutes, they are changing completely the air of the room. We're sure in that area, we don't need any kind of sanitizing. Even if changing the air using outside air sometimes is not the best solution. We did a test in a school, military school in Milan, Toulier, and they performed the test in the sense that they used our Levante with closed window, checking the quality of the air. Then they switched off the Levante, they opened the windows, and they checked the quality of the air after they changed the air using fresh air from the outside. Pity that we were in Milan, and the result of the two tests was that the air, I can send you the report if you need, the quality of the air in the school with the device switched on and with the windows closed was better than when they opened the windows. So, you know, the quality of the air is such huge topic, and the effectiveness of the technology is very useful. But combining mechanical ventilation with sanitizing systems like ours, for sure, is the right answer to the pandemic, or in general to the issue of the quality of the air.
So just one another quick question about, because safety at school, that's the part actually where I would like to focus more. Is there a minimum installation height? So I've seen you put it either on the bottom or on the, I mean, in the middle of the room, somewhere around 1.5 meters, right?
Right.
Right. So with regards to this, you know, there are sometimes nasty students in Germany, maybe in Italy also. They just
Yes.
put down a bottle of water on top of the device. So you do also some testing what's going to happen then with your device, because that's one part where installers would face to guarantee the quality of a product.
For sure is not waterproof in the sense that it's not designed to be waterproof, but for sure it's CE certified, at least from the electromagnetic compatibility and from the electric risk. Okay, so at least there is no risk. For sure, it cannot work under the shower, so it will be for sure damaged, but it's not risky for the people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it should be damage is okay, but there should be some circuit breaker not to harm anything more. Security.
This is following, I repeat, C certification. Normally we are using or TÜV or Eurofins as a laboratory to certify the products from the C point of view.
Yeah, right. It's basic C. Okay. And the dust filter, just another quick question since I'm here. Right now, that's my last. The dust filter itself, and in which cycle it needs to be swapped?
In which, sorry?
Cycles.
Okay, it depends. How often you have to clean. It depends for sure from the environment. As I mentioned, each device has or a dedicated light, like the Levanter, or for the Espero is flashing the push button that you use to switch on and switch off and control the fan. They are flashing or they are switching on when the system is telling you to control the filter. At the moment is programmed about 3 months. Every 3 months is asking you to check. But I repeat, it's simply, if you will find it dirty from the dust, you wash and you use again. And even if you want to change, okay, we can sell as a spare parts, but if it would be my device, I will go to Brico or to Leroy Merlin, buying the kitchen filter, cutting and replacing with a few cents. You know, it's because it's not related. It's not related to the photocatalytic or to the sanitizing, as the simple scope to keep clean from the dust, the photocatalytic filter.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for these insights from my side.
Okay, very good. Well, I think we've taken an awful lot of your time.
No, yeah, I mean, it's my pleasure and my duty. I mean, For sure, if you will not sell, I will charge this time. I'm joking, for
No,
sure.
we got no worries about that. I think these
I'm
are
joking.
great products. I think it's a super time to.
I know that it will take time to digest all this information. I've seen that you recorded, so it's for sure useful, I hope. But don't hesitate to send me any kind of question mark that you have, that you may have.
Super, super. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Ashley, I saw that you were in some way, let's say, worried about the product using a HEPA filter combined to UV lamp, but I think Max just gave you all the explanation needed to, let's say, to control and combat this kind of product. And then I think that
because also,
if you also checked the selling system, it's like a door-to-door. So, it's very easy for them probably to convince normal people that their products are the best, but in reality it's not, as you can
in a B2B is different. In a B2B is different because normally you have more time and a different type of people to explain. But also I want to say that it's not that these systems are not working, but we think that we are better. We are opening a NanoMed, a new company that will be specialized for the health sanitizing device. Because to be honest and clear again, our devices for sure can be, but are not suitable for surgical room or for the rooms with COVID patients. I mean, are not certified for this kind of environment. We are selling to hospitals, yes, but for the waiting room, for the hall, for receptions, office inside the hospital, but are not certified for specific health department. For that, we are opening this new company. I'm saying we in the sense that I'm also a small shareholder of NanoHub, and I'm also in the board of director beside the fuel and lamp. So I'm say we are strongly connected between each other. And in this new business unit or new company, we will just design and produce devices for that segment. That will not be anyhow in conflict, because we will speak about device over 3,000 euro price, because it will be specifically, and probably there we will combine anyhow HEPA filter with photocatalytic. HEPA filter is the absolute filtration, is the one that is used really in surgical room. Because anyhow, our technology is not, let me say, solving 100% of the things. For example, we are not filtering powder, okay? We are killing viruses, we are killing bacteria, we are deactivating VOC, some of the VOC for sure, we are deactivating PM2.5, PM10, but there are several other things that has to be for a sterilized environment, like can be a surgical room. So in that case, we have to combine HEPA filtration, that is an upper stadium of the HEPA filtration, HEPA filtration, that is an upper level of HEPA filtration, and we will combine with the photocatalytic. Why? And probably we had our idea that we will put first photocatalytic and after HEPA. So we will avoid that the HEPA filter will be contaminated by virus and bacteria that will be killed by the photocatalytic filtration. And in that case also, we will decrease the maintenance cost of the HEPA, because you will change probably in a longer time compared to the actual one. So what I was saying that the best would be to combine different technology together, but proven technology. This is the main difference, compared to the most of competitors that we have around.